All right, what is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video, giving you an update on TLT and the bond market. We're going to look at TLT, HYG. Then we're also going to look at TNX. Okay, we're also going to take a look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is actually rallying today, and we've been calling this rally in the Discord. So if you guys want to be a part of the Discord and get all of my intraday thoughts and update, and see what plays we're getting in and out of, all right, as well as the valuable resources in there and all of the intel data, go ahead and use the link in the description below, and you can go ahead and join that and be a part of our trading community. Use code Zackley for a discount on your membership, okay? So what we're looking at is we're tracking a 5-wave move to the downside, and we just recently got our MACD sell signal. Okay, so we got our MACD sell signal actually right here. Okay, and if you take a look, that's right here on this candlestick. We broke through our 50% retracement level at 106.33. That was a major support level we needed to break. We broke that and got a sell signal, and TLT has started to drop. Now, if you're new to the channel or you're not familiar with the Elliott wave patterns that we've been tracking, okay, as you can see, it fell about 3% after that MACD sell signal. We've been waiting on that. And, I think that there is a, possibility that we see a bounce soon. This wave one could be complete here. We may have completed it right here at 102.94. We also bounced right there perfectly at our 38.2% retracement level. So if that's possible, that, this wave one of 5 down is complete, then we could see a bounce to TLT. And it wouldn't surprise me if we come back up to 106.33. We have a gap to fill right here. I was tracking this gap right here that we recently formed, and we actually opened halfway into this gap. Right now, I did mention that a half gap fill and a reversal is very bearish. So we still have some room to go down to complete this wave one if we break our 102.94. But really, if we hold that level, I wouldn't be surprised if TLT comes back up to 106.33. And, a push to this area would be our wave two of 5 down, right? So we have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that we're tracking. Now, this is our 5th wave overall in the much larger structure. So if we go ahead and take a look, this is the structure that we've really been tracking on TLT, and your first wave down, your third wave down, and your 5th wave down are going to be 5-wave impulsive waves, and then your second wave up and your 4th wave up, those are going to be ABC corrective waves. So we'll go ahead and break it down real quick so you can see the strategy and how it's been working. And what we've been doing is we've been looking at our 3 major retracement levels, getting a rejection off of those levels, and then continuing the downtrend, right? So we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We come down, we get a nice ABC correction wave after we completed the 5-wave move of our first wave down. We get ABC up, all right? And then we get a nice rejection again at our 3 major retracement levels, and we make another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. Right. And most recently, it looks like we've definitely completed our ABC correction wave up. Okay. We got our ABC up right here, ABC. It extended. We got a very perfect rejection exactly at our level of 109.72 on TLT. And we've started the wave one down. Okay. So we're going to be looking for a possible bounce sometime soon on TLT, but we're going to want to see the MACD stay below this orange line. Okay. If it stays below the orange line here, that's going to be an indicator that, we're still having some bearish momentum. All right. Now we'll take a look at the S&P 500 real quick. Okay. And this is how it would work out on TLT if we get a bounce there. If you see, in my last videos, I've been saying that, hey, in the Discord, especially, since really last Friday, I said, hey, be on the lookout for a bounce in the S&P 500 sometime next week, because, we've already made our wave one down. Right. And you see how the MACD is just staying down, right? Even though we've got this bounce, it's staying below the orange line. That's what we're going to want to see on TLT. So here's a good example. It looks like SPY completed its wave one down and it's trying to get a wave two bounce to the top. So we could come back up to 397 to fill these gaps. We pretty much already filled this gap right here. And the major levels on the S&P 500 or the SPY ETF in particular that we're watching is 386.44. 379.15 and 371.85. Once we break 371.85, there's a strong possibility we're going to come down and retest our previous lows at this level here. We'll go ahead and hop into HYG real quick and take a look at some of the high yield corporate bonds. Go ahead and break that down for you guys. And it looks to me like we have a very clean break and retest, right? So we've been tracking this pattern here, a rising wedge indicated by these two trend lines. And it's a bearish pattern where you're going to zigzag and price action is going to get tighter until you get a breakdown, right? And oftentimes with these patterns, you see you get a breakdown and then a retest and then a continuation, right? So we're really at a critical level, sorry about that, right now to see whether this pattern is going to be validated or whether it's going to be invalidated and we'll need to take it off the chart. Now, we were tracking a larger falling wedge, which is actually a bullish pattern, right? And if we go ahead and zoom in and just show you guys what we were looking at there, we got a clean look above and fail, right? So we were zigzagging, price action was getting tight in here. And then we got a look above and we failed and we came back into our range, right? Our falling wedge range. So that's pretty bearish. That's a bearish signal. Now, we don't want to see the same happen if you're trying to short anything. You know, what you're not going to be looking for HYG to do the same thing and have a look below and fail and then re-enter back into the range. So, you know, it's going to need to hold this trend line here as resistance and head back down lower. Support levels that I'm really watching on HYG is 74.30, 73.56, and 72.82. You know, again, we got our MACD sell signal right here. It's one of my favorite indicators to look at. And, you know, we just want to see this stay below, right? If you're trying to short the market or anything like that, that's what you're looking for, okay? And you can have an entry signal when the opposite happens, all right? When you see the MACD start to curl, the blue line curl above the orange line, that's what you're going to be looking for, right? Over here, we get our MACD buy signal, and then we go on a very nice rally, right? If we take a look back at TLT real quick, okay, every time we've gotten the MACD sell signal, it's resulted in a very sharp drop. Here's our first MACD sell signal right here. We already dropped about 3% from there. Over here, we can take a look in the past, and we got a nice MACD sell signal right here. We'll take a look and take out our measuring stick. All right. And, you know, that was a very, very sharp move. It predicted this giant 20% plus move to the downside. Over here, we got a MACD sell signal, and that again was a nice move to the downside. You know, we take a look right here. This is down about 5% off of that MACD sell signal. We got another MACD sell signal over here right at this point. Okay. And we can see, you know, just another big drop, 15% right there. So that's why I'm saying that, you know, the MACD is one of my favorites right now. I did point out that the relative strength index was also at overbought levels right here. And that's going to be when the relative strength index is 70 or above, right? Typically that's overbought. You see we're overbought at these levels here, and we kind of trade sideways a little bit, consolidate, and then we get that MACD buy, sell signal, and you see we ultimately get that drop. So again, we're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. All right. 102.94 is the main level that you need to pay attention to on TLT for support. And 106.33 is going to be a major resistance level that you need to pay attention to as well. Right now, we're really hovering in between some gaps. We have a very tiny gap to the top, a very tiny gap to the bottom, and then we have a small gap up here and a larger gap down here. The S&P 500 has already pretty much filled this gap, you know, on the S&P 500. So, you know, we're going to see if TLT can do the same, but it's continued to remain a little bit more bullish, right? The drawdown on TLT hasn't been as significant in the S&P 500. We got the MACD sell signal a lot sooner there. We're going to take a look at the VIX real quick. This is the volatility index. And I just want to point out that every time this thing breaks out, it always has a sharp drop afterwards, right? It's been very one directional for most of the year. And what that means is that it's trading pretty much in one direction for about a good month or two, right? If we look here, we see it's coming down, trading down, trading down, trading down. Then we get a breakout, a sharp pullback, and then it continues up higher. Over here, we see it's trading one direction. It gets a breakout, goes down, and then goes back up, right? And we just really continue to see that, all right? It comes down one direction, we break out, pull back, go back up, all right? Right here, it comes down, breakout, we've pulled back, and there's a possibility that we could repeat this pattern that it's been having all year and continue up higher. Now, it's just a possibility, nothing's guaranteed. Something that we can look at to see, you know, gauge some market sentiment is going to be the skew index. If you're unfamiliar with the skew index, what this does is this measures out of the money protection in the stock market. So, you know, the VIX measures, you know, S&P call and put options. These are going to particularly focus on out of the money options, right? So let's say the S&P is at 380 and someone is buying 350 puts. Those are what's known as out of the money, right? Because we're not at that price yet. So we can see that there's still been a sharp decline in the SKU index right now. Overall, we're looking to see if we will possibly get a breakout on this that could take us up higher. All right. But for now, SKU is going down, and it's not a coincidence that the S&P 500 is up today, right? If we go back to the SPY and take a look at the SPY, we can see we're up 1.46% today. Now, if you trade the indices, you know that any day, any 1% day is very significant. Now, we have gotten a lot of 1%, 2%, 3%, even 4 and 5% days in the stock market this year, but that's largely been a result of this bear market, right? You have in bear markets, volatility is super high, and you can expect to see wild swings in the market. So that's basically it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I do viewer requests every single week. So if you enjoyed this breakdown, let me know what tickers you're looking at, and I'll be happy to make a video on it as soon as I can. And if you made it this far into the video, I think you're going to enjoy one of these next videos as well.